You're watching 11 Alive Morning News. 11 minutes of nonstop news starts now.
More showers and thunderstorms are possible in our area later on tonight. We'll time it out for you hour by hour and the full forecast straight ahead.
Major delays continue, unfortunately, down towards Ellenwood with all lanes shut down. 675 northbound at Forest Parkway. You can see traffic being diverted. We're going to get you around this one and other problems in the rush hour.
And we are staying on top of breaking news in your 11 minutes of nonstop news. We're working to learn more about a deadly shooting involving law enforcement. It happened in Rockdale County.
It happened just hours ago while you were sleeping, and this was the scene overnight on Harrison Shoals Road in Conyers. We do know both Rockdale and Walton County Sheriff's deputies were involved. The GBI has taken over this investigation. Plus, there was new information about a timeline for a grand jury decision in Fulton County.
Jerry Carnes is at the courthouse. Jerry, a race to the finish for the DA and the jurors.
That's right. Good morning. We have been talking to legal experts who have been reading the tea leaves in an attempt to predict when we might hear from the grand jury that will consider criminal charges against former President Donald Trump. There are actually two grand juries meeting here at the Fulton County Courthouse. Each one meets 2 days a week. One of those grand juries will consider District Attorney Fani Willis's case against the former president. That will involve evidence gathered by a special grand jury that met for months. New witnesses have been subpoenaed to testify, including former Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan. Here is Georgia State University law professor Anthony Michael Crease on the enormous job facing the grand jury and DA Fani Willis.
It's asking the grand jurors in the regular grand jury to synthesize a lot of information in a short period of time. So that's absolutely a challenge for the DA here. And it also means that they have to, again, be very efficient in terms of how they present this information.
There are other ongoing criminal investigations in Fulton County that are being presented to the grand jury. They are considering those and, in fact, considered a murder case earlier this week, and that will continue to happen leading up to their consideration of criminal charges against former President Donald Trump. Back to you.
Jerry, thanks a lot. That was a look at your Wednesday morning headlines.
A little bit of a cooler start. Those hoodies, not such a wild concept this morning, Chesley.
Yeah, they're appropriate for this morning. And some spots we have some fog out there. Notice in the background here where you can see that low-level cloudiness here. This is up in the Blue Ridge area. We do have some fog in some spots. Okay, so you may be driving through that, having to navigate, especially over here to the west. But looking at Carrollton, zero visibility has been over there and reported for a while now. And some spots and some parts of Carrollton, I'm sure there's zero visibility. You can see where we have that dark gray in there that leads all the way down toward LaGrange. That's where we have some of that denser fog. A lot of spots have excellent visibility. 10 miles, you can see way out, right? And so this is very isolated this morning, so be very careful as you're driving around. Temperatures are in the 60s for the most part. In fact, everywhere you look, temperatures are in the 60s. 68 degrees right now in Stockbridge. Forest Park the same, 66 over into Covington. 65 degrees Peachtree City. Got 66 in Chattahoochee Hills. 64 degrees, a little bit cooler there in Powder Springs over toward Hiram the same. Dallas and Paulding County, 64 degrees to start. Ackworth, you're at 66. Tucker in DeKalb County at 68. 67 degrees. Roswell, 69 right now downtown Atlanta. So a comfortable start for us. We will get the sunshine in. I think we'll have anywhere from partly to mostly sunny skies at times through the day. Rain threat doesn't increase until we get toward the evening. I think later on tonight, watching a stationary boundary down here to the south that will start to make its way further off to the north as a warm front over the coming days is going to keep the chance for the showers in our forecast. Speaking of chance for showers, how about tonight? Notice this yellow area here that extends into our far northwestern counties. That is where we have a level 2 threat for severe weather, or what we call a slight risk for severe weather. That's a level 2 out of a possible 5. So likely that we could see it up here to the far northwest. Rome, you're included in that. Once you get that way down toward Atlanta, Athens, and into Macon, you got a level 1 threat, which means isolated strong to severe thunderstorms, certainly possible. It's the winds that we need to be concerned about more so later on tonight. Now that level 1 threat will last or linger over our area through tomorrow morning into the afternoon. We'll be looking at the fact for the chance for strong to severe thunderstorms to continue at least through then. Forecast track model shows that we'll have the sunshine around through the afternoon. It won't be until later on tonight that those scattered showers, thunderstorms roll through the area, and then they'll linger at least through tomorrow morning. This may mess with our morning commute tomorrow. We'll be dealing with that. A couple thunderstorms in here. Could drop some brief heavy rain on us through the morning. I think it will linger at least through the afternoon on Thursday before things begin to settle down. And then Friday we'll start it all over again with this threat for more scattered showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures warming up. 92 degrees for the high on Thursday and Friday. 93 by Saturday. Sunday you're looking at 94. Both the weekend days will have a 30% chance for an isolated shower during the afternoon, and that continues as we head into next week. Crash, over to you.
All right, Chesley, this rush hour has been nothing short of tragic. Sky Tracker high above the scene of this terrible crash here. We see this debris just scattered all over the roadway. As you can imagine, they have completely shut down I-675 northbound right at Forest Parkway as you're entering Ellenwood. They are diverting traffic off the interstate. This one, I don't want to speculate, but one of these vehicles is just completely destroyed. All right, let's get over to the maps because I want to try and get you around this one because it's not only impacting your northbound ride. Obviously, you can see the black indicator letting us know that northbound is blocked. But let me step out of the way, and you can see on the right side of your screen that is southbound traffic. With all that activity, we are curious creatures. Folks are slowing down to take a peek at it. So you've got Highway 23. You've got that as an alternate. It's also Highway 42, or you may even want to consider 75 northbound if you're coming up from Stockbridge, because 675 northbound is going to be closed for quite a while right there in Ellenwood. Got a wreck out on the West Expressway, I-20 eastbound at Six Flags. Most of it is off to the left, but this was widely scattered, pushing you back into Douglasville. Maybe you want to consider Highway 78, Veterans Memorial Highway. Cheryl.
Crash, thank you. The Austin Ford trial continues today after opening arguments were heard in court yesterday. The defense is arguing it's scientifically impossible to prove whether Tory Lane killed herself or if someone shot her.
The prosecution claims the only way Tory could have been shot and killed was if someone else was pointing the gun at her. Tory's mother also took the stand, who spoke about conversations she had with the defendant.
He was just confusing me. He was just acting weird and saying crazy things like somebody's gonna come looking for him because they heard Tory, and like, why would they come looking for you? You know, it just wasn't. I just left it alone.
The trial continues today when the jury is expected to hear more evidence in the case. Continuing your nonstop news in DeKalb County, students will start the third day of school there, and parents say they're already a little frustrated.
They say there's new security measures that are slowing everything down, causing long lines just to get into the school building. Take a look at this video from a viewer, a line stretching down the sidewalk outside of Chamblee Middle School. They say all the students were waiting to get through the new weapons detection system, and they waited for over an hour. Take a look at this list. It explains why. Parents say the school sent an email listing what can set off these machines. Everything from scissors to 3-ring binders, earbuds to band instruments. So students have to take all of those items out of their backpacks before they are screened.
Reaction coming in this morning after a popular Formalwear company just suddenly closes its doors across the metro.
Adding stress, adding expense, customers now scrambling before their events. Employees have to find new ways to pay the bills. Liza Lucas has the story.
Holding her wedding dress, Zoe Moore feels lucky.
Third time's a charm, and this is the third dress.
She feels lucky not only because she found a dream dress, but because she got the gown before this store abruptly closed its doors.
I can't imagine waking up to going to work and not having a job.
But that's what several employees with Savvy Formalwear and Anya Bridal stores tell 11 Alive happened. Speaking off camera, the employees say they received this email indicating parent company Dapper and Dashing is closing its doors immediately. Bride Brittany Vidal now scrambling to find tuxedos by her September wedding.
You expect to have a cake missing or, the photographer not show up, but you never expect a whole business with such a high volume of, customers just go somewhere, just unreachable at this point.
Employees say most had no way to reach brides and grooms waiting on orders, so some left handwritten notes like this one we found at a store off Cobb Parkway. An apology to couples that this happened during the most special time in their lives. As news of store closures spreads via social media, both employees and customers tell 11 Alive they were completely caught off guard.
I just feel really bad for everyone here and everyone involved, especially the grooms, the brides, but especially the workers who are impacted by this.
So Liza, I know you reached out to the company, right?
Yes, no response to our emails, calls. It just goes to this weird ringtone at this point. And employers, they're just worried about getting paid. And obviously customers, they just want a refund. Well, actually the Better Business Bureau, they gave us some advice here. They say collect those receipts, other documents. You also want to check with your bank or your credit card to make sure the purchases to the card that you use to make those purchases at the now closed company. And you want to try disputing the transaction due to, quote, failure to receive goods or services. And I know some brides have had luck with that so far. Also, a little bit of good news here. A representative for Men's Warehouse, they tell me that the retailer wants to support customers who are searching for a solution. We've got a lot more on how that company is stepping up to help for you on 11alive.com. Chesley?
All right, thanks a lot, Liza. By noon today, temperatures will be right around 85 degrees. We're looking at partly to mostly sunny skies, really right on through the rest of the day. Should stay dry for much of the day as well, but it will be hot. 91 degrees will be your afternoon high temperature. By 6 o'clock, driving home, we're looking at partly sunny skies, temperatures right around 86 degrees by then. Rain chance comes in later on tonight and will be with us through tomorrow morning's commute. Crash, over to you.
All right, Chesley, appreciate that. Yeah, we'll be monitoring this one for quite a while. Delays in both directions. This crash, 675 southbound near Ellenwood. That's a correction there. My bad. 675 southbound at Ellenwood is where all lanes are completely shut down, and they are rerouting traffic, but obviously northbound delays. I'll have an update for you at 7:26.
Tough morning on the roads.
Yeah, no doubt, and busy. We'll keep updating for you on 11alive.com. Today's show is up next.